ideal girl child in the 21st century? What should be expected of her? And what should be done to empower and make sure she's remained enlightened about this generation? Today, October 11, we would be talking about girl child because it is the International Day of the Girl Child. And this is particular to us here on impact TV because we are all about securing the future. And the future starts now. I am Wuraola Pokwala. Welcome to Tea or Coffee on impact TV.
In the year 2012, October 11 was declared by the United Nations as the International Day of the Girl Child. Now, every year a theme is developed to bring about discussion and opinion polls about empowering the girl child. Now, the theme for this year is, with her, a skilled girl force. Now, there's so much talk about empowering the girl child. Well, how about educating the girl child? But how about empowering her to an extent where she is bold and courageous to face the challenges that comes her way? My name is Mudupe Jacobs. Welcome to Tea or Coffee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, okay. Today's topic is quite sensitive and
Yes.
something that we need to inform people about. You know, every time you hear empowering the girl child, empowering the girl child. Now, it's not just about giving formal education and making sure that she goes to school. There are acquisitions, there are skills she has to have and to imbibe in herself before she can stand and be courageous as the girl child. There are things that you need to put in place. There are things she needs to be informed about herself. And so she doesn't look like someone that is not relevant in the society, or she doesn't fit up to what the society is expecting of her, basically, about the girl child.
You'll be amazed the amount of girls that are not educated, and the fact that there's a saying that when you educate the girl child, indirectly you're educating the nation, because women are very powerful. We are a very powerful force in the country, in the nation, worldwide, all over. And we need to take these issues seriously because there are so many challenges that the girl child faces. And it affects our confidence, our ability to take on challenges that come our way in, you know, as she grows up and the likes. And these things need to be addressed because we need to not only educate them, we can educate them and then they are still fearful, the fear is still in them, but educating them, empowering them with skills, with what they need to know to be able to face whoever and whatever challenge comes their way.
And you know, we can't talk about empowerment without mentioning courage, being bold. Like celebrating the International Women's Day, one of the themes was you being bold as a woman, you being able to stand up and speak for yourself. And I'm actually glad at the fact that a lot of women are actually coming to this knowledge and they're well informed about who they are, and they're standing up to go into corporate organizations, changing corporate world, bringing innovations that could help change the country. It's not just going to be all about the men. Now, I'm trying not to be sentimental here, but then it is true that, okay, we know that, yes, the men are strong, but then we also have a stand and position in the society. We also have to stay relevant. It's not just about you being born for the purpose of going to the kitchen, cooking, taking care of the family. You also have something, you have potentials in you that the world out there needs to see. It can't just die in you because you are a woman.
Exactly.
And I like the fact that, okay, I don't know if you've seen this movie whereby women came together to talk about early child marriage, giving a girl at a young age, as young as 10 years, out for marriage. Now, what is that girl even going to do, where she's going to, what knowledge or idea? Ready? Yes, not even mentally, physically,
physically, mentally,
not.
Emotionally.
Emotionally, she is not. She's still too young. How does she know to handle family issues, family vices, even family members around her? How would she do that? She's just too young for that. And I'm glad that women are actually coming up. Look at the likes of Chimamanda coming up to talk about how women can stay relevant in the society, how they can change the world. You know, I'm always very amazed when I see women doing great things.
Great things, yes.
Look at the likes of Hannah Oyebanjo that we brought on the show. Now, I'm sure she has had to go through so many challenges, but then look at where she is now. She's in corporate world doing excellently well. Look at Chimamanda being recognized all over the world.
And then one question comes to my mind: what if they had been given out in marriage at a very young age?
At a young age.
Will they impact the lives they've impacted? Will they achieve what they've achieved? Will they change the lives of people that they have been able to change?
Definitely. And you know, we need to really emphasize on this. There are different things a girl child goes through. Before, there's so many challenges. Like now, let's talk about early child marriage. Let's talk about molestation. Different things that you go through.
FGM also is one of the issues.
Exactly. It's enough is enough of, you know, women being seen as a weakling, or women being seen as people who we know that, yes, our gender and all of that, but then we give the respect to the men, no doubt about that, but then we still have to stay relevant and use our potentials to help. Now, I was having a discussion with someone yesterday about multitasking, and the person was like, that's true, because leave a woman in the house, she has the children to take care of. The food is cooking in the kitchen. She's working on her system. She's working on her laptop, especially a career woman, putting things together. Now, leave a man. There was a movie.
See, the truth is, a man only has the. I feel that a man only has the ability to focus on one thing
at a particular time.
But women have the ability to multitask. Let me use myself for example. A particular day that, I was cooking, I was washing, and I think I was sweeping or cleaning or doing something
at the same
time, you know, and I was still trying to organize things. So women have the ability to multitask, to provide solutions to issues like that, you know, but men still have to sit down and think.
And you know, the theme of the International Day of Girl Child is, you know, with her a skilled girl first. Before you can look at a girl and say, okay, she's a skilled girl, what are those things that, you know, you would see now? What are those things she has to be taught? What are those things that she needs to know to be equipped
even
enough
at a very young age?
Look at the girl Malala.
Yes.
At the age of 12, she started speaking out, and she's known as an activist, whereby she talks about girls, talk about women. And she went as far as she was being shot. Actually, she was shot because of these things that she was doing. And now she's 21, she's getting awards, she's getting prizes of what she's doing. And I think it's high time that girls would come out and also be able to speak for yourself, be able to talk, you know, against all odds.
One thing I should also point out is the fact that our parents were supportive.
Yes.
So I think for us to really address the issue of the girl child, we should start from parents. You know, it's when you put the right mentality into the girl child, when you teach your male child what is right from what is wrong, when you bring them up the right way, that they'll grow up with that mentality and be able to say that, okay, I shouldn't allow this. The fact that I'm a girl doesn't mean I can't do this. Doesn't mean I can achieve. I can't be the president. Doesn't mean I can't be in a government position. Instead. So I feel it starts from the home. Let's train our children to have the right mentality about themselves. Let's train them to have that boldness, that be confident, be courageous, regardless of your gender. I'm more of gender, you know, gender equality.
All right, you know, this conversation continues right after the break, and we would have our guest in the studio to talk more on the empowerment of the 21st century girl child. Do stay tuned. It's still tea or coffee.
Experience the excitement at High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resort. Our state-of-art facility offers amazing outdoor rides, playhouses, indoor games, and dining facilities. Thrill your student with a lifetime memorable excursion trip. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
Discover the magic. Thrill. Every sight is so close you can feel it. The excitement, the fear, experience our cinemas. At High Impact Planet, the place where fun just got real.
Empowering the girl child. In the year 2012, October 11 was declared by the United Nations as the International Day of the Girl. Till date, this particular day has been set aside to celebrate the girl child, to highlight and address the needs and challenges girls face. This day is also used in promoting girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their basic human rights. Each year, a theme is developed to generate discussion and opinion poll all around the world with the aim of providing valid solution for the better living of the girl child. For 2018, the theme for the International Day of the Girl is "With Her, a Skilled Girl Force." Today's generation of girls are being prepared to enter a world of work that is unique to their time. This world of work is being transformed by innovation and automation. Educated and skilled workers are in great demand, but roughly a quarter of young people, most of them female, are currently neither employed or in education or training. There is much to talk about empowering the girl child. But what does empowering the girl child entail? Will the girl child get the necessary skill to form a formidable force? Who will and should empower the girl child? Tea or coffee continues. You know, it is quite alarming to know that 60 million girls, according to research, are not in school. And that is why it is quite important for us to talk about empowering the girl child, making her understand who she is and what she can do to change her society and even the world at large. Definitely, we have our guest in the studio, Fumilayo Oni, a girl child advocate, and also Ibirunke Olurotimi in the studio. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Tea or Coffee.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Yes, okay, so we are talking about empowering the girl child in this 21st century. Now, what does it take? What does it entail to empower a girl child?
I would say, first of all, formal education is very important. As we all know, it's key for every girl child to have a formal education. But beyond the formal education, there are also some skills, like I've been listening to your discussion, that there are some skills that the girl child needs to have to thrive in life. And these things are not taught in the classroom, as we all know. It's not numeracy, it's not literacy. So there are some skills that the girl child needs to acquire for her to be able to thrive and, you know, to be able to become the woman that can take up that leadership position, that can do things, that can reach for her dreams and just be the woman that she wants to be. And we can see that right now, most of those things are not being taught. So it is our responsibility as parents, as teachers, as those who are working within the social sector, within the corporate world, to ensure that the girls that we have around us are empowered with these skills. For instance, if you say a skill like financial literacy, a girl doesn't have to go to a business school or go to a financial management course to learn simple, basic financial literacy. If you're a mother and you have a girl child, this also applies to the boy child also. You can teach them basic budgeting, like, okay, every month, this is how I prepare the family list. This is what I do. There are times when I go to the market and I realize that the price of things have gone up. So you have to create, you know, a scale of preference. You know what is important. You know what is urgent. You can bargain in the market. If someone tells you the price of rice is this amount and you realize that you can still get it cheaper somewhere, you know, those are basic things that we can begin to teach our girl child so that she doesn't have to, grow up and begin to struggle in her finances. Those things are easy. You can get a piggy bank. You can tell her, okay, for every money that you get in a month, there is a portion that you should spend, there is a portion that you should keep back. Because these are the little things that I teach my 7-year-old daughter. I still remember last week that I took her to the market and I showed her my list. Yes. I told her, okay, this is how I do this. She was asking me, Mommy, she said, it's 15 naira, give her money. I said, no, you have to ask, can I get it for lower? And she said, okay, what is that called? Bargaining. So I told her that is how to bargain. So if someone comes to you in the world of business, sometimes you don't just swallow everything, the way the person that is selling to you. You have to bargain. You have to do your findings. Can I get it for cheaper? Can I get an alternative product that will still give me the same quality? Result. So I feel that it's not just the responsibility of our schools, to teach our girls all these things, because the sad truth is they're not teaching them these things. Yes. And I really do not blame the system, because that's the way the educational system is structured. But we should have opportunities where girls can learn these skills in an informal setting. It could be a formal setting, it could also be an informal setting. And part of the work that I do is that we have a life skills academy where we empower girls with these skills that they need to thrive in life, with skills like self-awareness, how they can grow their empathy level, emotional intelligence, and things like that. So I feel that it's important. And when I saw the theme for 2018, I was so excited because, you see, I remember when I was in the university, at some point in time, I had to work 2 jobs, not like at the same time, like different times. And I know that the skills that I acquired that time that I was in the university helped me to settle into the world of work when I eventually graduated and started my first job. So I feel that we should provide avenues where girls can acquire these skills so that it's easy for them, to settle after school into the world of work. Because, according to research also, in the next few years, there are some skills that are going to be in high demand. So how can our girls begin to acquire these skills so that they don't become obsolete, so that they can, be at par with their counterparts from all over the world? So I feel that this year's conversation is very interesting, and I'm very excited about it.
You said everything. Fumi, do you have anything to add to what she said?
Yeah, she has said a lot, but to buttress what she has said, I also think that we should let girls know their sexual and reproductive rights. A lot of girls are not aware about that. That is why we have early marriages, teenage pregnancies, and all that. I'm not saying young girls should have sex, but they should know their rights, what is for them, especially for young girls who do not have access to formal education like a lot of us do. If a lot of young girls, I work in Makoko presently. Makoko is the world's largest floating slum. And in this community, we have a lot of young girls at the age of 13, 14, they're married. Recently, I adopted a girl. She got pregnant at the age of 14. She was raped by a 62-year-old man. And she got pregnant, she gave birth. Now, a lot of people in the community criticized her. And I felt, this girl doesn't know her right. So if a lot of girls, young girls know their right, then they are going to be aware of what is in for them. Also, we have a lot of policies right now. People are advocating for more policies, and we also have a lot of policies that are for girls. In the north, a lot of girls do not go to school, but the government had made policies for us to ensure that girls go to school. If young girls and their parents, their mothers especially, are aware of these policies, it is easier for us to push for education for more girls. Also, we also need to talk about self-esteem and confidence issues for girls. A lot of girls, especially when you are in the teenage years, the boyfriend, girlfriend, I have pimples, I am short.
All these self-esteem issues set in.
It's setting, and a lot of girls need to be aware about these things. They need people to talk to. We should also make mentorship accessible for young girls. Let them have elders, or not necessarily elders, young people like them, maybe 3-4 years older than they are, who are able to talk to them. Now, if girls in the 21st century have access to formal education, like she said, and also we should be looking into alternative education for young girls, especially girls who got pregnant at 14, 15, at a very young age. alternative education makes it easy for them to access education. They may not be able to go back to the classroom, but they can learn. Then we should also be talking about the informal education. Fortunately or unfortunately, not everyone will go to school like we know it, but everyone has to acquire a skill. And some of these skills will come in form of informal education. And everyone has to acquire an education, formal or informal. A lot of people want to, but they don't know how to. But we have a lot of policies that are there. We have people that are even advocating for more, but most girls do not know. Like you said, Malala advocated for education because she knows her right. But a lot of girls are not aware of their right. So girls should know about formal education, informal education, their sexual and reproductive rights. Their sexual and reproductive rights, policies that are for them. Then we should also be talking about our gender and sex, our rights. We need to set a discussion. A lot of people are talking about it on Twitter, but these girls are not on Twitter.
Yes,
exactly.
definitely.
That should even lead me to my next question, because I know you are a girl child advocate, you are a woman and girl child advocate. What are the things that are being put in place to let these girls know the policies that are for them, their rights, and things that they should not tolerate if it's being brought to their face?
Well, for my organization, most times we do one-on-one mentorship. We have adopted 3 schools presently in Makoko, and today we'll be reaching out to, my team and I will be reaching out to 3 schools in Makoko. But aside from that, we not only do we enroll girls into school, we set aside a one-on-one mentorship for them, so we get to talk to them. Oh, this is what is happening to you. These are the things that you need to do. For example, she's now 15, that was pregnant and she gave birth. Now she knows her right. When she was raped, she was criticized by the community because, people ask you, what are you wearing? What time did you go out? They don't ask, why were you raped? So, but now she knows her right. I know that if anyone should challenge her right now, she knows what to say, she knows what to do, and she knows about prevention, protection, and all of that things that are not taught in school, or things that our mothers were too scared to tell us about. So a lot of organizations are into the one-on-one mentorship and mentoring, talking to schools, advocacy, and all that. And I think it's a good start.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, yeah, just like what Fumi has said, my team and I will also be visiting a school in Ikeja today to talk about self-awareness, which is one of the 21st century skills that we're talking about. And, it's easy for us to be in urban centers and feel that everyone has access to these things, But when we look at, like, for instance, the community where she does most of her work is right here in Lagos, and their realities are a lot different from ours. The access to education, access to basic health care, access to the information that they require, as girls. And what we do in my organization is that we have school outreaches from time to time where to go to, educate these girls on the rights that they have, who to talk to when they're in crisis, how they should handle issues. And then we are also open to counseling and also to mentorships. So it's very important, like she said, that we put these things in place. And we are also, seeking those that will take the work further, those that are in the very interior parts where they don't have access to these things.
Makoko. There are a lot of places in the north, east, south. There are a lot of places where we need to reach, because there are many of the girls that don't even know their rights, don't know how they can stand up for themselves, and they just allow anything just happen to them just like that. So I think, we need to go deeper and all these places and make sure we're able to reach out to them.
Yes, definitely. I agree with Modupe, because the more you make them understand how relevant they are in this society, the better for us. Because a lot of people, now I was having a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and then she says that, okay, Wura, look at this bulb. If they are going to fix the bulb, you're here, there's a man beside you. Who do you think they would call first? Okay, I wanted to pull the stunt of me now. She's like, obviously no, they will call the man because they feel he is more informed about it and he's stronger too. So now, how do we, aside having to go, because it is not a lot of people that would, have the time or create the chance to go to these places to make them understand that this is who you are now? How can the society be well involved in creating the self-awareness to the girl child, to make her understand who she is? Because, like I said, now there's some people that have, imagine someone that has a 9-to-5 job that would not be able to create time, but then has the passion to, get involved in creating awareness for the girl child. How would such person, do it or go about it?
What I think that most of these, our works have its ripple effect. Sometimes all you have to do is to talk to one person, and that one person is enough to do everything we want to do. Most times we think that we all have to come out in mass and start talking to people, outreach, carrying banners. But I have gotten to realize that sometimes all you need to do is just reach one person. And recently, a lot of us are now reaching out to young people instead of adults, because it is easier for a young person to internalize a policy or something rather than an adult who has been in the system for a while and it is hard for the person to change it. So though it will be good for all of us, but there are ways by which we interact. Even if you go to work from 9 to 5, you are meeting someone. Yes. You are spending time with someone. No one is an island. No one is working alone. Even if you are working from your system, you are talking to some set of people, right? And even the Twitter advocates too, they are doing a lot. The people on Facebook to the one-on-one advocacy. Let's say, for example, in my office we're 4, and I notice that someone is gender biased. I may not be able to convince that person in a day, but we should always set time for discussions. And I also think that women, girls, we have a lot to do.
Yes.
I think that a lot of us are lazy, and because of the way we were brought up, we want equality, but we are not moving towards equality.
Sorry to cut you. I won't say we are lazy. I'll say it's because, like you said, the way we're brought up is what we've seen over time. That just that's why when you talked about the fact that people like to talk to young people, young girls especially, we should start talking to the mothers.
The mothers.
Because it's when you put the right knowledge in your girl child that she knows what to do, that she knows when to say no. Okay. She knows that even when they say, don't tell your mom, I'm going to kill you or something like that, she knows, no, you can't, I will tell my mom. So it starts from the home, talking to the mothers how they can train their child, train their male child also. Do not hit your sister. Don't shout at a lady. Be a gentleman, teaching him how to be a gentleman, even from a very young age. And then society gets better.
I agree with you.
The reason why I said that is based on 2 things. Recently, I read a post about how a car broke down on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the men got under the car. They were trying to fix it, and the ladies took themselves. They went to sit under a tree. Wow. So the person was talking about gender equality, why it is wrong for women to talk about gender equality. And it was a woman, a lady that wrote it. Now, I felt if a car broke down, even if I'm not able to repair it, I will stand and offer moral support.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we are in the car together. Exactly. I wouldn't, because I'm a lady, find a tree to sit. That is one. So recently, Chimamanda spoke about Chiovare opening door for... She said something, I think what she was really saying is, open the door for me, let me open the door for you.
Exactly.
Open because I am human, not because I am woman. But
not because
a lot of, now, I am not angry at men but a lot of women came out and said, oh, she's wrong, it is extreme feminism and all that. Now, I have always believed, before Chimamanda said that open the door for me, let me open for you. Like, if you're going right now, I open the door. It means nothing to me. It's a sign of respect for me to do that. So, and I've had a lot of men open doors for me, and I've opened doors for a lot of men. It is actually nothing to me. Now, if women, I think personally that if women are still waiting and thinking that it is my right
for you to
open the door for me, we may not be able to move to where Because it comes from little things like that. If you think that it is the right of a man to always open the door for me, you will think that it is your right to always cook, even if you both do the 9 to 5.
Exactly.
Okay, no, I'm giving you enough time.
Yes.
I need to hear what Ibronke has to say.
Okay, based on the gender stereotype thing that that we talked about earlier, I also feel that we can start from the home. We can begin to let our boys and our girls know that a woman can be a pilot, a man can be a nurse, a man can be a chef, and I really am happy because, the way the world is going now, you can actually do whatever. They're breaking boundaries, even in male-dominated professions, we are seeing a lot of women come up on the scene very strongly.
Positions.
And I feel that also our educational system can also help in this regard. Because you still see some books that would say the father is the one that goes to work, the mother stays at home. We should begin to change the narrative around the books that our children use, so that right from the time that they are young, they know that mom can go to work, dad can also go to work. Dad can cook, mom can also cook, mom can decide to say, oh, today I want to have some time to myself, so daddy takes care of the baby and, do all of that. And dad can take the bin and, but we need to consciously do these things. The people that are publishing these books, they are human beings. So I feel that we can begin to work towards getting them to, change the narrative around it. Because these books are still circulating. We still see some of these books, circulating. If schools can begin to say, no, we're not going to accept this kind of books. We want books where, it's a woman is not painted as that one that stays back at home, takes care of the children.
I could allow you go on and on.
All that.
I could allow you go on and on, but our time is actually fast. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming.
Within this show, I've learned a lot, and I'm so particular about the fact that you said we need to change that narrative. Publishers, they need to know that a man can also cook.
Exactly.
A woman can go to work. It doesn't have to be one gender has to do this, the other gender has to do that. We need to change it. And we also need to talk to not just the girl child, but also our mothers. They need to understand that as you're training the girl child, they need to train the boy child also.
Thank you so much
Thank you so much for me.
All right. Yes. We appreciate your coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, and hopefully we'll have you again to talk more on empowering the girl child. Thank you so much for obliging our call today. Yes, this is still Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television, and the conversation still continues. So please stay glued because we will be right back.
Walking into comfort in a safe environment is every family's dream. At High Impact Planet Resort, our fully furnished service apartment is a home away from home. Amazing views right in your luxurious world. Work out to keep fit for an amazing body at the gym. Get affordable groceries and personal care items at the supermarket. Feel relaxed and beautify yourself at the fully equipped spa. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
we are still talking about empowering the girl child. And now, thankfully, we had Ibironke and Fumi, yes, talking about empowering the girl child. Now we have Alabidun Mahfouz. Did I get it? Thank you. And Adedara Badmos. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Yes. Now, we're talking about empowering the girl child. Okay. And we've started conversations on it. And what exactly does it mean to empower the girl child? It's not enough to just educate her. You need to empower her with the skills that she needs. So, what do you think the whole idea of empowering the girl child is about?
Okay, firstly, I'm really going to talk about what empowerment is.
Okay.
Empowerment is like you're trying to make a girl child confident, controlling her life and claiming her rights in all aspects of her life, maybe emotions, physically, mentally. You're just trying to help her gain confidence in her life. So, firstly, I would just say formal education is the basics. That is going to school, making sure she gets education. That's why my organization, we send kids to school because most of kids are out there. So most of them are hawking and doing I can't say exactly. They're doing like irrational stuff on the streets. And I'm like, we take kids back to school just to give them a sense of belonging. Then the next point I'm going to say is our parents, our mothers, they have a whole lot to do because for a child to be empowered, she has to go through the right training, like telling her things that will make her confident outside. If you are maybe, like, I don't even know I'm going to say, like, you're trying to, at home, you're not building your child's confidence. When she gets out, it will really affect her when she's relating with others because her confidence has really, like, from home, she doesn't have confidence. So how would she even have confidence when she's outside? Because she doesn't even know how to talk to people. And we're talking about our parents trying to make sure they gain enough confidence to be able to relate with people outside. Okay. That is, our parents, they're the major key in trying to get our girl child to be confident. Then we also, as adults on the street, pick a child near you. You don't need to go join an organization to empower a child. Just pick someone near you, your neighbor, maybe someone in church. Empower her.
So long as you have the capacity.
Yes, and try and
you don't even. Sometimes it doesn't have to be school because if she's in school, she might not be empowered if she's in school. Maybe she doesn't even have the confidence. She doesn't have anything. You just have to pick a child, try and monitor her, mentor her, and mentor her through the right path. Make sure she's going through the right path. Tell her you grow a lot of confidence between you, both of you, that she'll be able to connect to you. And things that she can't even tell her parents, she'll come and tell you. Then when she's having problem in school, she'll come and tell you. Then you can pick her. You can pick her up and
create a connection.
Create a connection between. Create a connection between both of you.
All right. You know, it is actually amazing to have
I'm excited
talk about empowering the girl child. Yes. So now let's look at it from your own point of view on empowering a girl child.
When you talk about empowering a girl child, you have to see it from the perspective of what we have in the 21st century. And of course, it's a blessing that we have a 21st century social media. And I feel that's one of the best ways to empower a girl child. A girl child can be a very good programmer, and she can sit at home and do a lot of things. Being a good programmer and exploring the social media and making it more easier. And, from there she's empowered. And of course, in schools today, the people that I see most as people who are even more versatile and more confident in using the social media are the girl child.
Okay, let me come in there because you're talking about social media. Now let's look at the girls that do not have access to social media, like girls that do not even have access to going to school, to have access to education. Now, how do you think such girls can be empowered wherever they are?
Well, one of the ways I feel they can be more empowered is mentorship. Okay. When you have a mentorship, you'll be able to, support them with what they have, with the little they have. And I also want to say that some of the NGOs can also be more of supporting strikers to these people. When you go to the Northeast and some of the villages where we have people who are not even educated or who are not opportuned, people like us who are into NGOs can really go down to these places and have a good time with them, have a mentorship, and before you know it, they are there. So the generation would be very much better.
We emphasize on the fact that mothers should be spoken to. They should know how to bring up both their male child and their female child. Now, as a man, what do you think is your role in empowering the girl child, as a man, as a father, as a man in the society, and as a father?
Well, as a man in the society and as a father, of course, all you need to do is to make sure that you have a very good a wife. That is the first thing. Then secondly is for you to make sure that you support them financially and morally, because at times, you know, as females, you may want to feel relaxed, feel, you know, it's normal. But as a man, you have to make sure that they do things the right way by being the very good and number one mentor or mentee. So from there, you know that you are doing your right as a man. So meaning you have to be financially capable to make sure you support them. Secondly, you have to also guide the mother and the child.
But I feel even there's some people that are actually not financially capable to that extent.
Okay.
But how will I put this now? From the lower class in the society, but then they raise children that are smart, are confident. The girl child, you know, the girl child can, you know, take on challenges and face it. So I really feel it's not all about being financially capable. It's about telling your girl child the right things, educating your male child on how to treat women, on how to treat girls, on how not to punch them in the face, on how to you know, treat them right and not. I mentioned throw punches or use abusive words. Like, the same thing goes to the girl child. You tell her, you don't throw insulting words to the male gender, you know, be cautious and the likes. So I feel, you know.
Okay, let's talk about the persistent gap and space between, when it comes to education, between the male child and girl child. Because if you would agree with me, there are actually some parts of the country whereby the girls are told to stay at home because they feel that the guys should go to school, the male children should go to school, and they are the ones that should acquire this knowledge and information, because at the end of the day, they have the mentality that the male child will come get the female child, get married, and then it is what he has acquired in school he would use to, you know, form a family and make her independent and make her on her own. But then that's a mentality that needs to change. So now, what do you think about the space and the gap, you know, people give between the male child and the female child?
Yes, thank you. There's a saying that goes thus that says, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. Or if you educate a lady or a girl, you're educating the whole nation. That is, when you educate a lady, when she gets married, she's going to imbibe whatever she learns in her children. You as a mother, you will educate only your girl child. That's not possible. You educate your girl child, you will train your children, and both male and both female. Now, the females, after you educate them well, they're going outside to marry somebody else. That's imbibing the right culture in the next generation. If you treat your own children too well, the male, if you treat them well, they're also going into another world, marrying another female, and you're expecting this female also to have been trained by her parents in the right way. So in this way, we're going to just encourage and improve the generation and Africa as a whole. Then we know that yes, in some parts they say the girls' spaces in the kitchen, which is obviously not true, because we are seeing ladies out there doing numerous things, blowing our
taking
heads,
up leadership positions.
So we have to keep advising this girl, most of our parents, because there are still these parts in this world that people still have this mentality that you have to take your girl child has to be at home doing all those things, and they have to go early in the morning to the stream to go and fetch water before they get to school. They're all broken down, all those things. So we just have to, it's just a way of, we have to go out there in masses and try and educate and new policies that all children, if you see the statistics of the ratio of girls and boys in school, you'll be amazed, because it's 0 to none. Like you'll be like, you're wondering how come why are girls not going to school? And these girls are the ones that they're going to help the future, because sincerely we have our positions in the future, social political regions, all these aspects of life, and we have to take the charge now. Everybody at home, we have to just take the option. We have just to stand up for every girl, every child, just to make sure that they go to school and have the right education and make sure that they are impacting to the generation.
Okay, you know, I actually agree with you on that, because back then, a few years back, you would hardly find, there's some careers that you you
Find
restrict
female gender.
Yes, their
women
gender,
or the
their
female
gender
gender to get involved in. But now we have female pilots. Now we have women occupying political positions.
Yes,
we
exactly.
have women taking up organizations, owning corporate organizations on their own, running in all by themselves without the involvement of a man in it. So I think I actually agree with you that there are women coming out now and speaking up, knowing their rights, knowing who they are, and empowering even girls around them also.
Okay, now let's talk about the challenges that the girl child faces and how it can be tackled. Let's start with you.
Some of the challenges they face is, when you talk about the self-esteem, as the training, and perhaps these are some of the ways that they face it occurs, and some of the things I feel can be done to that is, of course, being educated and being more, guided and mentored, from the childhood, that this is the way to go, this is how to do it, this is how to empower them. And of course, after that, we need to give them some level of understanding that as a female, you need to see yourself as a generation. And of course, being a generation who would surely be somebody that people will always look up to. Like being a mother, like being a sister, being, somebody that even after everything, you are the last person everybody will want to come to. And that is some of the ways I feel they can be supported.
Okay, yes. One major challenge I know that we have is gender discrimination.
Okay.
That is trying to, just professions that are specific to the female gender and to the male gender. And this is actually very wrong. And I just want policies to be created just to reduce this gender inequality and inequality and inequity. It's just to reduce this, because this gender discrimination is eating deep into Nigeria, because you can't. There's sometimes that when you say I want to become this, like no, your parents will like no, I want to launch it. Can I speak Yoruba?
You can't speak Yoruba.
Okay, like I want to launch it. Guys do that. Why? A girl can be a mechanic if she wants to, if she chooses to.
We have a female mechanic.
Yes, I've seen.
But if you still see them around, be like I'm coming from a Yoruba side, because I stay in a Yoruba place, and this is what happens everywhere. When you see ladies driving keke napep, be like keke napep, and they see it as a big deal.
What's that word now? You are surprised.
Yes, you're surprised, like
what's happening?
Riding a bike, a female.
So it's just, now we just have to reduce policies to reduce gender discrimination. Then self-esteem, we have to boost our girls. We have to boost them to be able to face others outside. And I just hope we'll all be successful when we're doing this.
Okay. In May, they actually had the World Humanitarian Summit, where they tried to raise funds to bridge the gap of education between male child and girl child. And they realized that there are some parts of the country where they face conflict and disaster. Now, this conflict and disaster has cost a whole lot in disrupting the education system of that particular country, and also affects majorly the girl child. That was why I came from the angle of them saying, okay, so now looking at the educational system that has been affected due to the conflict happening in the society, in that part of the society. So they feel that, okay, to balance this equation, let the girls stay at home, let the guys go to school. So now how do you think that conflict and disaster, even when it's happening, should not affect the girl child in any way, or affect the educational system of the girl child?
Okay, conflict and what you're trying to say, I'm going to put it straight now, because girls and boys, let's just say they're equal.
Okay, now I think the conflict and disaster is what is creating issue. Okay, now for instance, let's look at the issue of bombing. Okay. Now, going to schools, like let me take it from the angle of the Chibok girls at the period that they were adopted. Now, there's some particular places where they had to shut down schools so that such situation or incident does not happen. And a lot of girls had to stay back at home while the guys or the male children were the ones that followed their fathers to, do skills and famine and all of that. Now, why should that happen? I understand that the society can be going through some kind of things, but why should it be the girl child that should be affected in such situation?
That's just a stereotype that has been for too long. That has been passed from generation to generation, and we have to just stop in our own generation, because it can't keep going on like this, trying to just stereotype the female as the weaker vessel, as they see females as a weaker vessel, that we are inferior to the male. And this isn't so true, because we are equal. Everybody's equal we have equal rights and equal rights. So this shouldn't affect. It's just trying to reach out to this older generation, because I think in our generation we are getting aware enough, but these older generations are not. So we just have to reach out to them so they can help these generations that are coming in, just to change the stereotype that has been for way too long.
Okay. All right.
It's just unfortunate that such is happening, but then what I feel the government of that community can do is to find a way at which there will be a kind of a home teaching or homeschooling for them, such that they would not be relegated, let me put it that way.
Even if they don't have to go out,
even if they don't have to go out, they are still getting the education. So a homeschooling can be a very good one for such situation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, I particularly like the topic for today because it's very important. You know, I asked you a question when you're talking about women that are already in power. You talked about
leadership position.
Let me also talk about Genevieve Nnaji. You know, now she has put the world on the map.
Yes.
She has put
in the
Nigeria
movie
out there because, you know, the movie that she released and the likes. But, you know, and I asked the question, what if she wasn't given the opportunity to get the education she needed to get to this position? What if she had been married off at a very young age? Would she achieve this much? Would she have helped people that, you know, she has helped? Probably.
No.
Talking about Omotola Jalade, talking about, there's this other person I want to, Lakija.
Okay.
You know, there's so many women that are doing amazing things out there. What if they weren't given the opportunity? So I feel every girl child should be given the opportunity to be educated, given the opportunity to be empowered, to acquire skills that would help her, you know, to be confident and bold to face challenges
in
that
the
comes
society.
away in society.
Definitely, I agree with you on that.
Okay,
right,
thank you so much for coming on the show today on behalf of High Impact Television.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much
for
coming.
Thank you.
Okay, it's on this note that we need to wrap up the show for today. But I wouldn't leave without saying that it's important that our girl child is educated and empowered. It is very important. Like she's rightly said, if you educate the girl child, you educate the nation. You educate the nation. It's very important. My name remains Modupe Jacobs. Thank you for watching till.
And I am Muraola Popola. Enjoy the rest of your day.